When it comes to waste and fraud, a government watchdog group found federal spending outpaced staff growth and inflation at agency after agency, and you can actually see it all for yourself. OpenTheBooks.com has been investigating dozens of federal agencies and tracking the spending abuse of your taxpayer dollars and making it public for you to see online. Deputy Public Policy Editor of OpenTheBooks.com, Angelo, joining us now with more on this. Good morning to you. So what is your organization doing to catalog some of these agencies and essentially open the books?
Yeah, good morning, Jan. So we previously talked about the defunct agencies of the Federal Register. We found dozens of agencies that really don't exist on the Federal Register. So we began taking inventory of the remaining agencies, hundreds. And so we're cataloging every agency. That will create a clear picture of the government as it stands. You know, we'll be able to see where there is duplication, which agencies are sending cash out the door for others to do the work of the government. So Open the Books will periodically release a list of agencies that we've studied, that we've charted their growth, their expense, their activity over time to see if taxpayers are getting their money's worth. Already, we've gone through 50 federal agencies as far back as the data goes, some of it decades. So we're tracking the growth in headcount in each agency and the growth in money spent by each agency.
Specifically, what are some of the agencies you've analyzed there so far, and what have you found?
Yeah, we've gone through some of the biggest ones, of course, the Departments of Justice, Defense, Transportation, Homeland Security has all these sub-agencies like FEMA, ICE, Border Patrol, Department of Education, Health and Human Services. They have NIH, CDC, FDA, an assortment of independent agencies, now the now infamous USAID. So at agency after agency, a pattern emerges, which is that the head count grows slowly. It's small or moderate, but the spending soars much faster. So progressive critics of this efficiency project that we're seeing at the federal government say the real problem is a privatization of government services, private sector outsourcing, like Medicare Advantage. But small government proponents say that there's a large number of these NGOs, non-governmental organizations. They sop up taxpayer dollars and they act as ideological proxies of the administration in power. And you're seeing all of these outside entities get this federal money. So we're going to be looking through all of that.
And you're saying there's plenty of data that suggests both of those can be true. What are some examples of agencies that have had spending increases that dwarf their headcount increase? I heard you talk about that.
Oh, so many that we've looked through. Just a few examples. National Institutes of Health, for example, their headcount grew by a modest 21.5% since 2000, but over that same period, their spending has skyrocketed 300%. Department of Education, their headcount actually decreased since 2000 by 14%, but their spending rose by an astonishing 749% since 2000. And that's, of course, against the backdrop of a depressing update on America's report card. Kids still can't read. 40% of fourth graders don't meet the basic level in reading as of last year. A third of eighth graders can't meet that basic benchmark. So we're spending a lot of money. FEMA has come under fire for the shortfalls in the disaster relief fund. Their headcount grew by 290%, a lot. However, their spending grew by over 2,000% since the year 2000. So there has to be a better way to get aid to disaster zones in a way that's more timely and efficient, and then get away from mission creep like migrant housing. So we're going to do more of this. You'll be able to see a complete database come together quickly. And every day on X, formerly Twitter, we'll highlight some of it.
Do we know, Rachel, what the reason is that the head count could actually decrease in a place like the Department of Education, which I know you mentioned, you said that it decreased the head count by 14%, but then spending rose to 749%? Where's that money going? Is it just like pay increases? Or where's it going?
Well, so that's what we're going to look into a little deeper, you know, and again, it could be both of the things that people on the left and people on the right are saying, right? These NGOs, they're just sending more taxpayer dollars outside to outside entities.
Kind of funneling it. Yeah. All right. Deputy Public Policy Editor of OpenTheBooks.com, Rachel O'Brien, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jan.